Fighting Irish. Protests and arrests at Notre Dame ahead of the president's commencement address. The big get. Persistence pays off for a little-known school that wooed and won the First Lady. Lots of trouble as auto dealers disappear. Reality sets in for anxious customers. And back in the pool. After a suspension from swimming, does Michael Phelps still have what it takes to win?
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome. This is an unusually full weekend for President Obama that will take him all the way from his children's soccer field to a potential minefield on Sunday when he speaks at the University of Notre Dame commencement. The president's support of abortion rights has drawn plenty of protests at the Catholic institution in advance of his visit there. But first, there were other matters to deal with back in Washington, including a reach across the political divide for a key nomination. We have it all covered for you tonight. We're going to begin with NBC's John Yang, who joins us now from the North Lawn of the White House. John, good evening to you.
Good evening, Lester. President Obama weathered a firestorm late in the week over his detainee policies and did turn to other business this Saturday, including some family business, and prepared for more controversy ahead. President Obama, soccer dad, taking time out of his morning to cheer on his daughters at their games. Earlier, he cheered his pick to be ambassador to China.
Beautiful family, look at this.
An unusual Saturday announcement of an unusual choice. Republican Utah Governor Jon Huntsman, a Chinese speaker who was a co-chair of John McCain's presidential campaign.
Time and again, he's brought people together across party lines to overcome our common challenges and to move our nation forward.
When the President of the United States asks you to step up and serve in a capacity like this, that to me is the end of the conversation and the beginning of the obligation.
It reflects Mr. Obama's attempts to reach across partisan and ideological divides, an approach that'll be put to the test Sunday at Notre Dame, where he delivers the commencement address and gets an honorary degree. That's angered anti-abortion and conservative Catholic groups.
The president is somebody who's taught in a university setting, would understand that this is exactly the type of give and take that's had on college campuses.
While enacting policies protecting a woman's right to an abortion, Mr. Obama wants to bridge the gap between supporters and opponents and end the decades-old culture war.
The most important thing we can do to tamp down some of the anger surrounding this issue is to focus on those areas that we can agree on, and that's where I'm going to focus.
The challenge for Barack Obama is to have his conciliatory message heard over the din of protests, over people who feel very strongly and are trying to turn up the heat on the abortion argument.
Mr. Obama's attempt to ease tensions could disappoint supporters. During the campaign, he pledged to sign a bill called the Freedom of Choice Act, which would put abortion rights into federal law. But now, as president,
the Freedom of Choice Act is not my highest legislative priority.
This weekend, Mr. Obama is also reviewing possible nominees to the Supreme Court, another issue that is going to rally both sides in the abortion battle. Lester?
John Yang, thanks. And for more on the controversy that awaits the president at Notre Dame tomorrow, we want to go to NBC's Ron Allen. He's in South Bend. Ron?
Good evening, Lester. There have been relatively small, sporadic protests in the weeks leading up to Obama's visit here at the gates of Notre Dame. The organizers are hoping for a big turnout tomorrow while the president is here on campus, along with thousands of graduates and parents and family and friends celebrating what has suddenly become a very controversial day.
And to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
Today, for the second day in a row, about a dozen anti-abortion protesters walked onto Notre Dame's campus and faced immediate arrest for trespassing.
Folks, we ask you to stop and leave the University of Notre Dame. It's an unauthorized demonstration.
It's been a very orderly process, no pushing and shoving. But it's also been a very angry protest, featuring veterans of the anti-abortion movement, who say they see no common ground with President Obama.
If Obama wants dialogue on abortion, it's really simple. Repent. Stop killing babies.
Commencement weekend is well underway. Graduate schools awarded degrees this morning. And most here seem much more interested in celebrating their achievement than debating such an emotional issue.
I'm actually pro-life, and I still am honored to have our first African-American president speaking at my graduation.
However, some graduating seniors like Emily Totes plan to attend a prayer vigil instead of the main event honoring Obama.
I feel like the university has kind of sold itself out, and giving him that honorary degree in a sense endorses his policies, and we're not okay with that.
National polls suggest most Catholics believe Obama should be welcomed here.
Well, most of the people I've talked to wonder, what's the fuss? I mean, he's the president of the United States. Universities are supposed to be places of debate and conversation.
In a letter to the graduates this week, Notre Dame's president insisted the honorary degree is not a political statement, but rather an expression of respect for the leader of the nation. But that's not enough for the protesters, lining Notre Dame's entrance, waiting for Obama to arrive.
He's my president also. Like I said, we're praying to change how he feels about this issue, because it's very important to us.
Some of the protesters have said they will try to disrupt the commencement exercises. That won't be easy. Obama will be attending the event in an indoor auditorium that seats about 11,000 people, and security will be extremely tight. So far, there haven't been any students or faculty members participating in the protests out here either. Lester, back to you.
All right. Ron Allen in South Bend for us tonight. Thank you. Whatever your Saturday do-it-yourself project was today, it would be awfully hard to top the repair job that took place hundreds of miles above us in space. NASA called this the Hold Your Breath Day of the 11-day shuttle mission, underscoring the challenge and danger two spacewalking astronauts faced as they spent 6.5 hours outside the shuttle trying to repair the Hubble Space Telescope. NBC's Kristen Dahlgren is following the mission for us tonight.
350 miles above the Earth.
I'm a little worried about this strut.
To call it high drama might be an understatement.
This task never designed to be conducted via EVA or spacewalk.
In what was perhaps the most complex spacewalk ever,
Number 5 is out.
astronauts John Grunsfeld and Drew Feustel worked to fix the Hubble Space Telescope's broken planetary camera. But getting to it took a very steady hand.
John, you'll grab it and then...
Grunsfeld had to unscrew 32 tiny fasteners, at times unable to see where he was working.
All the screws are out, bueno.
All while astronauts watched their spacesuits for any deep tears that could prove catastrophic.
There's a little nick out of the topmost ridge.
And kept an eye out for space junk. Hubble's orbit can be littered with debris. It's the reason NASA still has Endeavour standing by for a potential rescue mission. Though on this day...
And Houston, you look great down there.
Houston and Atlantis didn't seem to have any problems. In addition to the camera work, a refrigerator-size optics package was replaced with a new high-powered spectrograph that scientists hope will help them understand how the universe was formed.
Nice work, guys. Congratulations.
After 3 spacewalks and with 2 more planned, Hubble is quickly getting a new lease on life. And astronauts are now halfway through the mission NASA once deemed too dangerous to fly.
We'll see you inside.
Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News.
It is a bad-tasting medicine for an ailing industry. The decisions this week by GM and Chrysler to drop a combined 1,900 local auto dealers. The moves have left dealers angry and their local customers wondering who will look after their cars. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
In Portland, Oregon today, a rally organized by Friends of Timberline Dodge, urging the Chrysler Corporation not to close down this dealership.
We do things right, we got great people, and this dealership doesn't need to go away.
Across the country, communities are reeling from the impact of the closures. At Star Chrysler Jeep in Glendale, California, another dealer that got the axe, customers waiting for service said they were taken aback by the news.
I was surprised. I mean, I read it also in the paper, and it was a shock.
I'm wondering if this particular shop would close, where would I get my vehicle serviced, and how far would I have to drive with the gas prices? And it's just a pain.
GM and Chrysler say they still have plenty of dealers who can take care of customers' service needs, although it may inconvenience some.
Not every car dealership will treat you like you're the most important person that walked into their doors. And so far, I've had that experience here.
The general manager, who has to unload his inventory by June 9th, says he expects to see a lot of bargain hunters.
They're going to get great deals, and what's left, hopefully there'll be some other dealers that can take on some of this inventory.
This place employs more than 50 people. As GM and Chrysler cut down their numbers of dealers, the impact on employment in this country is going to be huge. More than 100,000 jobs lost.
We can fix it so that it doesn't leak anymore.
People like service manager Gus Prieto, a longtime employee who thinks Chrysler is dead wrong to drop the dealership.
Huge mistake. Not a little, a huge mistake.
And this is just the start. GM is expected to announce more dealer cutbacks in the future.
We are going to see dealers closing like we've never seen in really any time in our history.
As the American automakers try to avoid driving off an economic cliff. George Lewis, NBC News, Glendale, California.
A spectacular finish at today's Preakness Stakes in Baltimore. The filly Rachel Alexandra earned her crown and a place in the history books. NBC Sports' Tom Durkin had the call.
Rachel Alexandra's in front with 1 furlong to go. Musket Man moves to second. My Nat Bird is third on the outside. The filly trying to hold on. She's clear by 3. My Nat Bird runs at her late. Here's the weigher. And the filly did it! Rachel Alexandra has defeated the Kentucky Derby winner, My Nat Bird, by 3/4 of a length.
The 3-year-old filly beat out a field of boys to become the first female horse to win the Preakness in 85 years. Adding to the first, jockey Calvin Burrell is the first to have won 2 races of the famed Triple Crown, but on different horses. The horse he rode to victory in the Kentucky Derby last month, My Nat Bird, placed second today, just 3/4 of a length behind the winner. When NBC Nightly News continues this Saturday evening, how a little-known university managed to land a very big name for today's commencement ceremony, First Lady Michelle Obama. And later, racing again 9 months after the Olympics and a bit of hot water, Michael Phelps dives back into the competition.
A new meet record, Michael Phelps.
Tired of nighttime breathing problems? Here's the solution. Is it a bandage, you ask? No, it's famous drug-free Breathe Right. Ingenious flexible strips that fit your nose to gently open your nasal passages for up to 31% more airflow.
Wow!
You'll breathe better, so you'll sleep better. Small strip, big relief. Bright idea. Breathe better, sleep better, breathe right.
It's back, and it's beefed up. It's Applebee's 2 for $20 deal, now including real burgers. Get 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, and a real night out for just $20. 2 for $20 is back, only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Italia. Much more.
Going 3 times a night? I'm used to it. Time out.
Wearing pads just in case? I don't mind it much.
Time out. Are you really going to put up with overactive bladder forever? Talk to your doctor and give the coping a time out.
How can you get back pain relief that lasts up to 16 hours? With Thermacare heat wraps. That's 8 hours while you wear it, plus an additional 8 hours of relief after you take it off. Thermacare delivers heat that penetrates deep, warming the muscle right where it hurts to relax, soothe, and unlock tight muscles for lasting pain relief.
Even after I took Thermacare off, my back stayed loose for the next day. It allows me to move side to side without pain.
My muscles feel like this, and then after the heat gets really deep, my muscles do feel loose.
Thermacare works differently. While some other pain relief patches and creams may feel warm, they're really not.
With this, I can feel the heat going deep, deep inside of the muscles.
The warmth is so deep, the relaxation so profound, took the pain away.
So if you've got pain, go to trythermacare.com for a $3 off coupon and start using Thermacare today. And get up to 16 hours of pain relief with Thermacare.
Michelle Obama visited the University of California at Merced today to deliver her first commencement address as First Lady. She told the graduates she admired their campaign to convince her to speak, suggesting that the students of Merced know how to get what they want.
Why did I choose the University of California, Merced, to deliver my first commencement speech as First Lady? Well, let me tell you something. The answer is simple. You inspired me. You touched me. You know, there are few things that are more rewarding than to watch young people recognize that they have the power to make their dreams come true, and you did just that.
UC Merced is a new and tiny school, and just how did those students inspire the First Lady? I traveled to the campus recently to find out. Until 4 years ago, it didn't exist. Nestled among farm fields and orchards in California's Central Valley, tiny University of California at Merced's enrollment is just 2,700. I never heard of UC Merced until we heard about Michelle Obama coming here. Is that a typical reaction?
Yes. And being from Central Valley myself, I've never really heard of Merced itself.
Which is why the class of 2009, the university's first full graduating class, aimed high in its search for a commencement speaker. The White House, determined to land Michelle Obama. I take it nothing was off the table?
No, we wanted to go through and get Michelle.
These are just some of the nearly 200 students who organized the campaign, which would ultimately involve virtually the entire school.
In the back of my mind, personally, I was like, this is never going to happen. But I wanted to make sure that from the administrative standpoint, we supported them and their efforts.
They launched a campaign of emails, letters, and even Valentines sent to the First Lady. They set up a special Facebook page and created this web video called Dear Michelle, with a theme built around believing.
We believe in our First Lady, Michelle Obama.
So do you think Michelle Obama has actually seen the video?
I hope she did.
Whether she saw the video or not, to their surprise and joy, the First Lady said yes, she'd come.
That was crazy.
It goes to show that we can accomplish something if we all put our minds to it and work on it as hard as we did.
Why not ask for the big guy? Why didn't they ask for President Obama?
You know, they originally were thinking about let's ask for the president, but they realized that he has other things to focus on, and they wanted to focus on the economy. And so they said, let's leave the president alone, and we'll bring in the First Lady who also reflects those same values and ideals.
The First Lady's acceptance turned what was to be a modest ceremony with a few thousand guests into an elaborate production for 12,000. Freshly laid sod and giant Jumbotron TVs erected here and in town sent costs soaring. But it all may pay off in more ways than one.
So the next stop on our tour.
We've seen a number of students that are interested in the campus for the fall increase.
And all this has raised the bar for future commencements in a school still forming traditions. So who's your graduation speaker going to be in 2011?
Are you free?
You got to shoot bigger than me. Shoot bigger than me. But if they get desperate, I am free. When we come back, a massive project aimed at rebuilding a barrier against the ravages of Gulf hurricanes.
There's a big reason to lower high cholesterol. Dangerous plaque that can build up in arteries. It's called atherosclerosis, or athero, and high cholesterol is a major factor. But Crestor can help slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Go to arterytour.com and take an interactive tour to learn how plaque builds up. And then ask your doctor if Crestor is right for you. Along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol and raise good. Crestor is proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you're taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. Learn more about plaque buildup at arterytour.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Welcome, guys.
I'm so glad.
Odors hide in fabrics.
then reappear when you least want them to. Febreze seeks out and eliminates odors to stop them from coming back. And it leaves a fresh scent. Febreze, it's a breath of fresh air.
Bush's baked beans.
Jay, it's Grandpa Bush. Let Duke sell Bush's secret family recipe.
Nice try, dude.
How'd you know it was me?
Grandpa didn't have a tail.
Oops.
Enjoy Bush's baked beans made with our secret family recipe.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. One pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
Monday, live on Today, America's Got Talent Last Chance Audition. 4 lucky finalists perform, and you pick the winner on NBC.
A popular cyber cafe was the target of a deadly bombing in Pakistan today. The car bomb in Peshawar left 11 people dead and some 24 wounded. 4 of those killed were children on a school bus that was passing at the time of the blast. Back here at home, a massive Gulf Coast construction project is in a race against time as the next hurricane season approaches. As NBC's Jay Gray reports, concerned residents are already worried that the work being done to an area shipping canal or shipping channel won't provide the storm surge protection they might need.
Scoop by scoop, rock by giant rock, the Army Corps of Engineers is closing the Mississippi River Gulf outlet. The canal was created in the 60s as a shortcut for cargo ships between the Gulf of Mexico and Port of New Orleans. But environmentalists say the 76-mile corridor has carried too much salt water into the sensitive marshland, destroying the natural storm barrier.
Salt water encroachment has killed a lot of the cypress trees and killed a lot of the vegetation, which then allows the marsh to just degrade and wash away.
Just to show you all the water that's been coming in through the lower 9th Ward.
The MRGO, or Mr. Go as locals call it, has been blamed for accelerating the destructive storm surge from Hurricane Katrina.
It was preventable and avoidable, and it shouldn't have happened.
In a landmark trial, 6 residents have won the right to sue the federal government over the role the canal may have played in the devastation.
They heard for 40 years that thing was a ticking time bomb. And it took Katrina to get them to finally decide to close it.
Citing the court case, the Corps won't talk about Mr. Go or the current project, but work continues to seal the canal.
When this barricade is finished, it will stretch 10 acres from shoreline to shoreline. It'll be 450 feet wide on the bottom and climb 7 to 8 feet out of the water. It's a massive project, but many here say not nearly big enough.
As far as storm protection, it's pretty minimal at best.
Longtime resident Paul Orr grew up on the lakes and bayous of southeast Louisiana. He says he's seen the coastline ripped away here, and he worries about what could happen next.
The city of New Orleans today is the most vulnerable it's ever been in its whole history.
A history still evident today that pushes crews to finish this wall before the next big storm. Jay Gray, NBC News, New Orleans.
Up next here tonight, Michael Phelps racing again for the first time since the Olympics.
Much more.
Are you and your gray hair facing an identity crisis?
My hair says experience. My hair says energy.
Touch of Gray, the best of both, combs away a little gray, never too much, just right.
Now I look like I know what I'm doing and can still do it.
Touch of Gray.
I absolutely love playing badminton. Started playing after 30 years again, and it's wonderful. It keeps me young. My shoulder sometimes hurts, and my doctor said I was overusing my knees. And I said, well, that's not the answer I want to hear. A leave makes me pain-free, so I can move on the court. And you can't play this game if you can't move on the court and get to the bird and return it. I'm Anne-Marie Donahoe, and with a leave, I'll never stop playing badminton.
I'm no health nut. Never ran a step until my 30s. At Kashi, we believe if you eat a little better, you feel a little better. Hey, ladies! That's why we make our foods, so you can do a little more. Now I'm 59. I've run almost 800 races. Getting healthy starts with taking little steps. As many as you want.
Kashi, 7 whole grains on a mission.
For a limited time, get your Double My Bucks certificate at CVS Pharmacy or at CVS.com so you can earn double extra bucks every time you purchase a prescription.
Hi.
CVS Pharmacy pays you back. And these days, everybody could use a few extra bucks.
There you go.
Thanks.
Hey, honey, did you know that they...
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
Sunday, an exclusive showdown between the two-party chairmen, Tim Kaine versus Michael Steele. Politics and the Obama agenda, only on Meet the Press. Nightly news at nightly.msnbc.com.
Finally, Olympic champion swimmer Michael Phelps is back in the pool this weekend for his first competition since his historic gold medal run at the Beijing Olympics. It's been 9 months since his last race, and as NBC's Mark Potter reports, he's making quite a splash.
For the first time since the Olympics, Michael Phelps is back in the race. Competing twice last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, a normally obscure event now drawing worldwide attention. In the 200-meter freestyle, he came in first before an enthusiastic crowd.
A new meet record, Michael Phelps.
A short time later, in the 100-meter butterfly, he also finished first.
To the wall, Michael Phelps.
9 months after Beijing, he's glad to be back.
I'm happy. I was really excited. It didn't matter how I felt. I was excited just to race. And I think that's the most important thing, because I still have that, that drive and that passion to race.
On Today, NBC commentator Rowdy Gaines said that Phelps will still need some time to excel again.
The problem is he's going to be rusty being out of the water so long. So these new events are going to take a little bit of time for him to perfect.
For Phelps, who visited with children at a Charlotte hospital this week, his time since the Olympics has been rough. He was suspended for 3 months after he was photographed smoking a marijuana pipe.
Hopefully I can, help people never make the same mistake.
Michael Phelps. With his eyes set now on the 2012 Olympics in London, Phelps is training again with weights, with high-altitude work in Colorado next week, and with no doubt he still wants to win.
I knew I still wanted it. I knew I still had that passion and that drive to accomplish the goals that I still have. And that's what I plan to do over the next 3 years.
Phelps competes in even more events this weekend, with the world watching. Mark Potter, NBC News, Miami.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. I'm Lester Holt reporting from New York. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Today, then right back here tomorrow evening. Have a great night, everyone.
Southland, Thursday, 10/9 Central on NBC. Sunday, the Black Widow spider takes her mate in a dance of death. Did she do the same?
He took care of everything. Her whole life was Alan.
Did she trap him in a spider's web, and has she done it before?
All that matters now is finding the truth.
A new Dateline Sunday, 7/6 Central on NBC.
Next week, Brad Pitt on his new movie, a Today exclusive from the Cannes Film Festival. Next week on Today, only on NBC.
Sleep Country Super Sale ends soon. Save up to $500 on Beauty Rest and Posturepedic sets. Get 24 months free financing plus a free bed frame with Tempur-Pedic or the Sleep Number bed.